is my Tableau assignment on airline data for Dr. Marlin's strategic management class. The data set was financial and employee information on 10 major airlines within the United States. We'll begin with sheet 1, looking at revenues for these 10 airlines. American Airlines raised the most revenue, with Delta, United, and Southwest at second, third, and fourth. The lowest three were Spirit Airlines, Hawaiian, and Allegiant, making the least amount of revenue. Using the same data on the same sheet, we can pivot to profit to see the profitability. Delta Airlines we see in 2018, or actually we're going to switch this to 2018. It raised the most profit for 2018, with Southwest, United, and American coming in second, third, and fourth. Looking at the same data and on the same chart, we're going to pivot to earnings per share, which is a measure of overall profitability, and we can see a very different story with Allegiant actually realizing the most earnings per share. Moving down to sheet 3, we're going to look at return on assets to revenue. And again, we can see that American Airlines, though they raised the most revenue, actually had one of the lowest return on assets. Alternatively, within the same strategic group, Delta Airlines had the second highest revenue, however, the highest return on asset within their group. Southwest Airlines, again, had the highest return on assets of all, and then a mid-range level of revenue. Moving to sheet 2, from the data, we can clearly see 3 distinct strategic groups. So the top group here, this top 3 airlines, the Delta Airlines, United Airlines, and American Airlines. In the middle, we'll see Southwest Airlines, and then we have the remaining 6 airlines here at the bottom. So we've identified those through strategic mapping, and what is the competitive strategy. So these top 3, I believe, would be demonstrating a broad differentiation strategy. Southwest demonstrating or implementing a best cost, and the lower 6 airlines implementing a low cost strategy. So the top airlines will be able to offer additional value, additional flight patterns, different cities, upgrades, on-air entertainment, and things like that, and actually charging a premium for those, where Southwest Airlines offers some of those, not all of those, but is able to increase value at a lower cost. And then, of course, the low-cost providers offering basic services as low as customers still deem valuable or acceptable by the customer. And so we also learn with these competitive strategies that there are instances where there's risks and benefits depending on external forces. And so, we learned about external forces with the PESTLE analysis, specifically economic forces. And what we looked at was profitability. In 2015, going into 2016, there was an economic downturn. It was drastically, I want to say, a half of the GDP in 2015, and then a slow rise through 2019. So what we see is a definite correlation. The broad differentiation providers, or the airlines implementing broad differentiation competitive strategies, who were previously able to command a higher price because of the extra value, actually saw dips in their profitability. From the economic downturn, consumers became more price conscious as opposed to value conscious. And so not only did these airlines have to lower their prices to compete, they were not able to, their profit dipped. What we saw at the same time, you can see that when they saw a dip in their profitability, the low-cost providers actually saw increases in profitability, almost a direct relation. And again, evidenced by during the economic downturn and these external forces, there were the consumers became more price conscious. So as far as the most efficient airlines, we can see that Delta Airlines, Delta Airlines here, again, making the highest return with an acceptable return on assets, and Allegiant Airlines with the highest earnings per share of all of the organizations.